Hello everyone and welcome to Age of Wonders Planetfall, a game I am super excited to be able to share with you on the channel today. Now, there are some caveats with this. I have been very fortunate to be one of those selected to be able to cover the game this early ahead of its release, which will be in August, but I only have the game for about 4 days, so that's going to have some effect. You can consider this episode an early first taste. As such, it'll be a bit of a longer episode where we'll check out more of the game. There are some caveats on what I can show at this early stage, but we will then be transitioning to streaming, the first stream of which will be tonight at 8 p.m. BST. That is in about 4 hours from the time that you see this video go live on my channel. If you're interested in seeing the continuation of the game we're going to be playing today, then please join me there. That being said, let's jump into the scenario editor and actually get to grips with this. Now, this is going to be a bit of an expanded experience for me. I was afforded the opportunity to go and check this out in a much earlier state of development in London some months ago, and there were a lot of things that were locked out at the time and we couldn't really look into. But the reins have been loosened, not completely taken off, but loosened a bit. There are still 2 races that I am not allowed to showcase in any great depth. We will encounter them in play, possibly. It'll be a little bit random, but I can't show you their character creation or really go into depth on what I know about those races from behind the scenes discussions with the developers. But we can check out most of the others, and I'm fairly certain that a lot of people are interested in seeing the ones that ride dinosaurs, so that's cool as well because they're amongst the ones we can play. Now, planet types. We've got community worlds, which are actually pretty cool to see down there. So we're probably going to see something along the lines of workshop mods and the likes. But let's have a look. Ravaged world, devastated with the cataclysm or ancient wars. Feral world at the edge of the Star Union, which aren't really around anymore. Former population centers with bountiful imperial remains. That might be cool. Or an imperial world suitable for recolonization. We could probably go for a capital world or a frontier world. I don't think we'll go for the Ravager world, unless we end up streaming this a few times over the next 4 days, in which case we'll probably explore all of them. Let's go with the frontier world. I like the bountiful biodiversity we'll probably find here. Now, we can do an advanced setup, and I recommend we do. We're not going to go for a massive world this time because, again, I've only got access to the game for 4 days, and that's why I'm not recording this as a regular series, because I might not be able to record out the entire playthrough before the game locks again on the 20th, and then we'd have to wait until August to resume it. So we're going to try for a smaller game here, but as I said, I'll be possibly playing this several times. That may mean that is streaming it several times, so we might actually cover a couple of playthroughs. Turn system, we can do a lot of things in here. We can actually have quite a lot of play here, but we go for a small world possibly. Yes, I think we'll have a small world. Landmass type, I don't really mind. We can go with random there. Landmark value. Now, we'll cover the ins and outs of these things as we go, but you have a lot of options in customizing the types of games you're going to play, as is the norm for Age of Wonders style games, honestly. We'll just leave all of these as they are. Game flow, game speed normal. Yeah, I think I'll leave these on normal. We've made a smaller world, so we'll probably have less enemies in it. Hero match player race. If enabled, the recruitable heroes will always be of the race that matches one of the player's colonies. If disabled, they will always be of a random race. I mean, that might not be so bad, actually. No, we'll leave that on so that we're always seeing enemies with the same race heroes. That way we'll have a little bit more of an interesting time. We could turn on turn timer. I believe that the game does allow for multiplayer, so a turn timer would probably make more sense then, but in the solo game I think having the turn timer off is a little bit better. You can spend more time umming and ahhing over your moves, kind of like a roguelike. Take all the time in the world to make your decision, because once you've made it, you're not taking it back. We'll allow all victory conditions as well, and all of this too. We observe manual combat. Select when to observe a human player's manual combat. So you could watch other players do it. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, we've got all of these races. We could select commanders, but I'm not going to select... I'll briefly show it. You've got a host of commanders down the side. Oops, we should not be on one of the assembly. pretend you didn't see it. It's fine. We are going to see a little bit of it, but we're not going to go into in-depth character customization for the Assembly or the Syndicate. These are the locked races. Previously, when I saw it in the press event, they were also locked secret technologies, but very thankful, those have been lifted completely. So we can customize and make our own unit. Now, we're not going to linger. I'll be quick to click off anything with the Syndicate or the Assembly, but, little bits of information will be visible here and there, and I'm sure if you want to pause the video, you can, but understand I'm not going to be talking about them at all. I'm not really allowed to, other than what we might observe in actual gameplay. Now, the Vanguard are your stereotypical folks, colonists, considered rough folks with little ties to society, so the effect of long interstellar travel in cryosleep and the resulting time dilation doesn't matter to them. They're basically sent out, or were sent out, by the Star Union to colonize new worlds, to find and make ready new worlds, possibly having to put down whatever might have lived on it before. The Kiriko are an insectoid race that were enslaved. Their queens were lobotomized and their drones were put to work, but in whatever calamity befell the Star Union, they have freed themselves, but not entirely. Perhaps their queens are still subjugated in some form or another, or it's taking some time to bring back the swarm. But you represent some of the Kiriko who have found their freedom and are taking back the reins of their own destiny. They have some very interesting abilities. The Vanguard are firearms and lasers, and quite a lot of kind of machinery and tanks, that kind of stuff. Whereas the Kiriko are more bioweapons and psi-weapons. And most of the races will have weapon groups that they will naturally have access to. And this will all affect the kind of technology that you'll have in the game, which is really cool. Playing a different race will give you a very different playthrough. They've got some other abilities, mostly around, basically Zerg rushing, effectively. Now, the Syndicate, we're going to skip. Amazon, the bioengineered Amazons, have the ability to alter life and survive harsh circumstances. Their fearsome troops have Spartan discipline and are experts in guerrilla tactics. Their arsenal includes genetically engineered beasts that the Amazons ride into battle. Yeah, basically they ride dinosaurs, and amongst other things. Who knows what happened to the men of the Amazons? The Amazons are effectively they were the terraformers. They would be sent out to worlds that couldn't support life yet. Whereas the Vanguard was sent out to subjugate worlds, the Amazons were sent out to make worlds ready for subjugation, or perhaps just to tame a wild world into something and create a world that could sustain the human life of the Star Union. When whatever calamity befell the Star Union and plunged and kind of separated or fractured the space dwelling humans, the Amazons were locked on a distant world that they were terraforming, and over centuries became the race here. They stopped being the terraforming core of the Star Union. Whatever happens to the men, we don't know, and perhaps that would be unlocked in the game through lore, but they are pretty much a female-only faction at this point, and they procreate through cloning and other genetic modification methods. They use bioweapons and laser weapons, and again, aforementioned, ride on dinosaurs. Pretty strong reason to go with them, honestly. TerraTech Industries, you kind of have the logos of what they were back in the day, so you've got, well, that one's there, they've taken. The Kiriko have made their own there. The Frontier away to join the Vanguard now, which is actually pretty cool. The Devar are a thrifty race of survivalists. The Devar work hard to mine planets for all they're worth, to gain as many resources as possible for their consortium survival and welfare. Red Core DV are exosuits. They were basically the miners of the Star Union, and as such, when they were the split off, when the Star Union kind of crumbled and who knows what happened there, they were left in a fairly horrible environment and managed to survive against all odds on a planet that had a highly elliptical orbit that would have scorching hot summers as it was close to the star, and then frigid winters that would seem to last a lifetime when it was out at the edges of its elliptical orbit, and also, unfortunately, happened to pass through an asteroid field semi-regularly. So, every now and then, throughout the year, would just be pelted by gigantic space rocks. As such, the Devar kind of survivalist philosophy is bunkers and drilling and excavating. I mean, I hazard to call them space dwarves, but in my mind, that's what they are. They have firearms and explosive weapon groups, powerful area of effect and medium range attacks, strong focus on production, terraforming options to destroy and create mountains, which is actually pretty cool. And they ignore happiness penalties from living somewhere that's volcanic, because they were forged on a world far worse than that. We'll be skipping the assembly as well. Now, in terms of the race we're going to be going with, we've got a couple of options. But before we decide, we also have secret technology. And the reason why I'm going over all of this, I really want to showcase just how replayable this game is, because these two choices combined will have enormous effects on how you play the game. Even if you play the same race, if you select a different secret technology, this is going to completely change your tech tree and the sorts of super weapons and endgame powers that you're going to be building towards. Now, Void Tech warps the laws of physics, allowing the manipulation of teleportation and teleportation of matter and energy. Command highly mobile units that can teleport and phase through things, create temporal clones, destabilize and decelerate enemies, use arc and kinetic damage channels. So this would kind of help out here, where we've got firearms and lasers. Void Tech would give us also access to arc, which is kind of electric, and kinetic, so just regular guns, I guess. So firearms and kinetic, probably the same sort of thing. Xenoplague. The Xenoplague spreads through a highly adaptive alien parasite and can be used to create biological weapons, develop super soldiers, and evolve planetary populations. Spawn and evolve special units after battle, heal and enhance biological units, deploy infectious bioweapons, and use biomechanical and kinetic damage channels. So again, firearms group, I would say, but also the bioweapons group. Now, the Xenoplague was an alien parasite that was discovered on a planet by the Star Union, and they found that it's actually incredibly adaptable, and the Xenoplague itself kind of strips talent and qualities from any life form it encounters and just gets better over time. But it could also be manipulated, so they could make super soldiers, or conversely unleash devastating mutation plagues on their enemies, and that's why it's called the Xenoplague. It kind of got out of hand a little bit. The Synumbra employed dark psionic powers to tear holes in reality and summon devious entities from the abyss. Summon ethereal beings, break enemies' minds, uses the psionic damage channel. So this would give, if we went Vanguard, it would give us psi as well as firearms and laser, whereas this would give us biomechanical and kinetic. The Promethean are planetary exterminators eradicating threats with their psi-fire. Pyrex fires. They are basically a core that was developed largely to deal with the Xenoplague. Create weapons of mass destruction and employ powerful incendiary weapons, settle in inhospitable places, shield units and colonists from Armageddon, and use thermal and kinetic damage channels. Synthesis manipulate AI to their advantage, hacking and compromising systems. They're kind of like hacktivists, or were, back in ye oldie days. Deploy AI demons, hack and override enemy mechanical units, so strong against enemies that employ lots of like cyborgs or like heavy armor, that kind of thing. Integrate the populace into a network, use arc and kinetic, so electric and regular firearms. Celestians are an ancient order of psionically gifted individuals that strive to achieve inner enlightenment and create balance and harmony in the universe. They believe psionic power comes from the stars and use this power to protect their ideals and teachings. Sway enemy soldiers, so strong diplomatic focus there. Use psionic and thermal damage channels, which is interesting. And then we're back to Void Tech. So, what are we going to go with? Quite tempted to go with a Kiriko, honestly. Bio and psi weapons there. Maybe we could pick up something like Promethean to have thermal. It would be good to kind of merge these together. Like that being said, although they have the bioweapons group, we would add kinetic damage, but there's something interesting about the idea of the terraformers using the Xenoplague virus to help them with what they're working on. I kind of like that. Also with the Kiriko as well a little bit. Or we could go with Synumbra or Celestials to add in the ability to use psionics. Tempting, strong morale buffing and damage reflection. I mean, we could go Amazon and go with Xenoplague. That is definitely a strong one. Terratech Advanced. I mean, you know, that really does kind of work together. Maybe we should. But we would be sacrificing a bit of the biochemical overlap. So we might not have as much coming from that. Now, over here, you might have looked. We've got perks. So let's just put these on nothing for now. We've only got a limited amount of points. We can have vices to earn us some more points. Most of the vices have some sort of benefit, but they do have a negative, whereas everything else only has a benefit. But let's have a look at them. We can start with a veteran, which means our commander, our main unit, will have some extra starting levels, and generally, units gain experience faster. That would be really good. That would be very good. If you've played any games of this ilk, having units that level up quickly can give you a strong advantage early on. These ones are a little bit more expensive. COVID operations might be nice. Star Union Scholar, so we'd decrease secret technology research. Might be nice. Rewards for pickup sites and structures are increased. Colony supplements, so our colonies would be a little bit better in some capacity, but mostly these seem to be you start with some sort of edge. I don't think we need this. We'll be landing on this planet. I'm not going to bring a colony supplement. I think I'd prefer things that will have a greater effect. Now, an Amazon assault mount. You have your own personal Lancer. And still remember, when it was just a zygote in the birthing chambers, you have been inseparable ever since. You have the following skills. Piloting enables the commander to ride basic vehicles and mounts. Vitality 1 and 2 greatly increase your maximum hit points. The loadout includes your Lancer, which possesses powerful thermal capabilities, plus a mod, and a Bioblaster that deals a biochemical damage. Might be good. There's also a support vehicle, but I'd have to choose. We have an Empire APC. Has a thermal grenade that deals thermal damage in an area and has a chance to burn those. Has various support ability. I think we're going to go with the Amazon one. Let's be honest with ourselves. We're just going to go with that one. Xenoplague close combat equipment, though, is tempting. The pack you receive after the Xenoplague close combat training. The expert training gives you the following skills. Close quarters specialist. Pestilence, a viscous living gauntlet that infects your foes with while dealing biochemical damage at close range. A biogrenade that deals biochemical damage in an area effect and has a chance to poison. No, we'll just go with the Amazon assault mount. Let's see. I think we'll pick up veteran as well, so that our unit will gain more experience as we go on. We're not going to pick a vice right now. I think we're going to roll with this. So, back to our main screen. You can change a few things about your commander. Name Cassandra. You know what? We're going to name you Cassa. There we are. Last nickname. Casa Farcia. Casa Cato. Right. Race, Amazon, secret technology. That's all selected. Color scheme. Let's go for... I'm not sure entirely on this one. Red and blue, maybe? Does this affect anything in particular? It doesn't look to. I don't know, the deep Amazons, I kind of like the greens, honestly. We can select a symbol, of course we're going to. I've always been fairly fond of that setup. We can have a look at different angles for our commander as well. I think we'll have that. Now, so many things that you can change. I'll be right back. And welcome back. That took me a little bit of time. But as you can see, customized the unit a little bit. There are lots of options there. And there are stupid amounts of options if you go Kiriko. Oh my lord, you can make some very, very different looking insects. But I think that is perfect for us. Let's go ahead. I'm going to save that commander. Yeah, sure. And let's get into the game. So we're going to be playing with Casa and launching the game right now. It's a small planet. Let's go for 4 enemies. Oh, that being said, let's have 5. We'll compromise. There we go. Excellent.
Greetings,
all right.
Amazon sister. You have used your bioengineering skills to adapt and survive on distant worlds. The collapse of the Union has freed you from ancient dogma and the slow-moving process of evolution. You have shaped your bodies, society, and environment to meet your own needs and ideals. But no, there are no universal truths. May your sisterhood create a brighter future for all on this world.
Okay, we've got no colony supplement, no vice. Let's begin. Interesting dropship. I like it. Okay, that is unfortunate. That's a Kiriko Hopper Hound, I believe.
Welcome, Commander. I am Ava, your autonomous integrated virtual assistant. Standard issue for every planetary governor of the Star Union.
Which no longer exists.
This will appear when important actions are undertaken for the first time. They can be reviewed at any time in the Imperial Archives.
Very well. The star icon and color will assist in early decisions by recommending certain, diamond, choices to direct the development of your starting empire. These messages can be disabled or reset at any time in the options menu. We're going to leave them on for now, though. Okay, Felindel. No, we need a different name there. But before we go anywhere, we do have 3 levels we need to take. We've also got a unit there, just chilling out, that isn't in our stack. Now, a stack can only have 6 units, I believe. But let's go ahead and upgrade our commander.
Armies with multiple units can be split into smaller, separate armies.
Okay. To split an army, select the move point button positioned above the portrait of the unit you want to remove from the selected army. When all units you want split off are selected, move the unit as normal to create a new army. Okay, that's quite useful. Thank you. Right, now we've got 10 skill points, my lord. Right, we've got a laser lance strike. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll go over what all of these abilities show when we're in combat, because right now if I move a mouse it's going to move off it, but understand that this is a weapon that can hit multiple times. That's what the repeating means, and it's a thermal weapon with a decent hit chance. Stagger is something that will be quite useful for dealing with units in Overwatch, so on so forth. We've got laser lance. That's our normal attack. That can only happen once in a turn though. Fire a bioblaster. Fire a biochemical weapon at the target. Flanker unit deals an additional 25% damage when attacking from a flank. Good. That does biochemical damage. Now it's useful to know what kind of basic attacks I've got for the skills that I'm going to be taking. Psionic resistance. Psionic attacks deal less damage and are less likely to trigger status effects. Good. Combat experience. This unit gains 15% more experience in battle. Flanker. Unit deals additional 25 when flanking. Strong will. Immune to mind control. That's good. Okay, right, that's fine. Light unit, though. A small standard unit. Mounted. Cool. Now, our vehicle is right there. And our bioblaster, our secondary weapon, is here. It's a tier 2 secondary weapon, which is actually quite nice to see. We've also got a mod. Advanced Instinct Controller. Control a creature's instinctual reactions. The unit gains 300 happiness and 5 psi resistance. Additionally, this mod grants the unit +1 dodge, I believe. Let's have a look at that. Shield, sorry. Shield, reduce incoming damage dealt to the unit. Melee attacks, ignore shield. And armor reduces incoming damage dealt to the unit. Psionic attacks, ignore all armor. So you use psi attacks to get through something with high armor, and you'd use melee attacks to get through something with high shields. Very well. We could possibly get additional mods, but we don't have any just yet. So let's go and spend our skill points then. Right, first and foremost, visual acuity. The hero gains 1 extra hex of range when in cover. Ooh, that might be quite nice for our range weapons. Renewal. Heal a friendly biological or cyborg unit for 30. Can only be used once per battle, but that's actually pretty potent. Rapid movements. The hero learns to move rapidly to confuse enemies. The hero gains skitter, making them harder to hit if they move during their turn. Ooh, I kind of like that one. Sure, we'll grab that one. Biology expert. The hero trains its army on the properties of biochemical weapons and how to improve their bodies, giving biological units in the army +2 bio-resistance. Only functions when the hero is the army commander, though. Okay. I think I might actually get renewal as well, so that we've got an early game heal straight up. Now, we're going to be spending 6 points there. We've still got 4 we can use. Deadeye. All attacks gain 5% more accuracy. You'll notice that attacks have an accuracy rating. That would actually be quite nice, so taking them all up to 95. Close quarters specialist, though. I mean, that's it. Yeah, I'm fairly certain we should probably go with close quarters specialist. Increased damage dealt with melee weapons. Ground commander, all heavy ground units. No, we don't need that. Infantry units. That might not be bad. Steady aim. Attacks with ranged weapons are 15% more accurate when fired from cover. Alright, but we're going to be going close quarters specialist. And also Deadeye 1, I'm thinking, just to get that extra little bit of punch on all of our attacks. We'll confirm that. There we go. Perfect. Now we should see, hasn't actually upgraded that. There may be a maximum that we'll see though. Renewal is there though, and skitter. This unit becomes 5% harder to hit for each hex it moved during its last turn. And for a melee unit, that's actually going to be really, really important for us. We have got other units as well, and all units gain EXP, and all units can be modded individually. But for non-hero / commander units, or like, you know, our main commander, you create a template for them. They're more kind of off the conveyor belt units, whereas hero units are few and far between, and from what I understand, quite unique. But we could equip this and create a template for this type of unit, which we'd then be able to produce at our facilities. We've got, let's see, we've got, looks of it, Biomancer, fires a Bioblaster, manipulate sleep, manipulate men, heals each biological unit in its stack, that's 6 per strategic turn, that's nice, command experience, that's fine. Manipulate men, alter DNA structure of target biological or cyborg unit to heal wounds. Okay, can only be used once per battle. And sleep, targets a biological, mineral or cyborg unit to apply sleep with 8 strength, I assume that's bio strength, chance for 2 turns. If resisted, apply slow instead, that's actually pretty cool. We've got some ranged units, bio arrows, very nice, flash arrow, high impact stagger, which can blind someone, very good, combat experience, forest camouflage, this unit cannot be detected when stood on a forest, very cool. Laser repeater, we've got a laser pterodactyl, wow. Fire a laser repeater at the target, air to air, get a little bit more damage, swoop with claws, swoop down for a melee attack, entering defense mode afterwards. High impact stagger, melee will bypass all, bleeding, an 8 strength chance to apply bleeding on biological or cyborg units for 3 turns. Very nice indeed. Farsight. It has better vision range. Animal, a non-sapient unit. Very well. And we've also got another flying unit right there. Now, as I mentioned, you can only have 6 units in a stack, but you can attack with every adjacent stack to the person you're attacking. So if I move that in close, we would be able to pull that into a fight as well. But before we do that, Planet Objective Report.
The Objectives interface gives an overview of available objectives. Quests can come from NPC factions or from special sources during the campaign.
Okay. Now, NPC factions, they don't specifically mean other players. They mean just native factions on the planet. So that's pretty cool. You can gain or lose reputation with them, and that can unlock or lock certain things.
The active victory conditions for the current session can be seen here, as well as your progress in each condition.
Very well. Covert operations can be used to gather extra information on non-allied players, which would actually be quite cool. Once research, a capability rank is shown for each category, showing how well you are doing compared to the other players. Okay.
In addition to regular quests, the game features Empire tasks. These are divided into 3 categories, each representing an important pillar of your faction.
Progress through these Empire tasks yields rewards and sets you on a path to victory. Being the first commander to complete the task gives you an extra Pioneer reward. Very well. So, Unity, the Emissary, 0 of 2 conditions met. Unify victory, research Dawn of a New Union. So that, I guess, would rebuild the Star Union. Military, the Invader. Last Man Standing, defeat remaining commanders. Or Domination, occupy 1 of 31 sectors. Well, currently, we only occupy 1, that is. And the development, the builder, Doomsday, research the Omega strain. See, that kind of sounds nasty. Right, okay, so we've got nothing specific to go on right now, but that's quite cool. Now, we need to give our commander some orders. We've also got operations.
Operations form a flexible toolkit that allows commanders to support military actions and steer government policies.
Ops of increasing strength.
Increasing strength are unlocked through research and are listed on the left side of the operations interface.
They're subdivided into 3 categories. See, you're inconsistent with when you stop talking and when you don't, you scallywag.
Strategic and doctrine operations need to be primed before use. The priming process takes a number of turns pending the ops cost and your available strategic operation points.
These are very useful both in combat, where you can use, you can summon operations down. Now, some of them require to be primed, the strategic or doctrines, but some you can just use as and when you have the ability to. We've got the resource over there, strategic operation points, we're getting from our base. Strategic operation points are used to launch operations on the world map. Strategic operations include unit summons, sector bonuses, and penalties and covert operations. We'll be getting to that. Okay, well that's fine. I would really like to get into that city though. There we go. Okay. Right, we've got one of one stations. We don't have any land around to annex, but you'll notice that the world map is kind of broken down into geographical sectors, and the sectors will have different qualities. We will ultimately want to annex these and join them to our colony, and future colonies might annex ones around them, so on and so forth, to bring those resources into the colony. And it also unlocks buildings that we can make in the colony based on the sort of regions that we've annexed to it and how we can level those up over time. But let's focus on this again, because we do want to start working on things. We can make some extra units if we wanted to. We could work on a central structure. Now, everywhere can have one. And I think really we want more production right now. So let's get production central structure on the go. We can queue up other things as well. We've got no sectors that we can work on. Population will grow in 3 turns. We'll have a happiness event in 6. Now, we're currently producing happiness. You can think of it like a resource. Once you hit a certain threshold of happiness, you get a happiness event. But the same is true negatively. If you're losing happiness, then at a certain threshold, you'll get an unhappy event, like a riot or something along those lines. These are our populations currently working on things. And food sharing, I think this is for different colonies that you've got, and they'll share food to prevent a deficit. Or share all, share half, or take food. If this one needed some martial law, we could activate that. When martial law is enabled, no positive or negative happiness events occur. And a rioter is converted back into a regular colonist every 3 turns. Under martial law, your colony produces 20% less income for all resources, so it's not something you want to do willy-nilly. Very well. Over here, we have city decrees. We can change the colony name. We can raise our own city. No. Sector features. It's a HQ, so it's got a lot of bonus resources. Colony center. This is the colony center building. It provides a basic income, but we're going to make that better. Now, sector analysis. Where in this sector is Arcadian. Boost output through research. It's also a forest. Boost output through research. So we can get certain research which would make Arcadian features or forest features a little bit better for us. The location is just the area and all of the other info besides. So that's all cool. Now, we've got 2 different types of research items that we can work on. Have we got those activated yet? Research facility is still being set up. Okay, so we don't get that for another turn. Alright. Well, okay, so what are we going to do? We've got a lot of things around. We've got something down there. Imperial production stash. Okay, that'll be quite nice. We've got some interesting items over there. Don't know what they are, though. We've got some areas out there. We've got 4 creatures here, 4 creatures there.
These are Marauder guards. Having taken a location of value, they will remain there and protect it with their lives.
As with regular marauders, they do not engage in diplomacy and will grow stronger as the game goes on, so getting rid of them early is in your best interest. And the army power there is 440. What about over here? Is it a similar one over there? Army power there is 440. Our army power is a lot more. Also plus 280 because of colony militia power. So we're next to the city. If we fight next to that, we'll pull the militia from the city into the fight with us. Right, I'm going to move our 1 flyer over here, our 1 Shrike, into a position. It's got a very low army power, but that is fine because we're going to move our commander right next to it, and then we're going to get into having a bit of a squabble.
This combat preview is shown prior to any attack. All participating armies are shown, and you will also see an indication of the enemy army's strength compared to your own forces.
Very well. When an army is attacked, the adjacent hex rule will cause adjacent armies to be drawn in. At the bottom of the interface, the choice between manual and auto combat is there. We'll be doing manual for now. The one I can't access it right now. I'm just realizing that maybe the music's a little bit high for the dialogue from our tutorial, but it's all effectively got subtitles, so that might not be too much of a problem, but I'll try and balance that out a little bit. Our army power is a lot more. Vastly inferior enemy force. Nevertheless, let us fight. Tea. So good. Alright then. There's our other Shrike. They are positioned based on where they were on the map when you started the combat. Now, the Hopper Hounds are generally only melee. Let's have a look at you. This is a beetle. it's got a fairly potent pincer attack, but it can also spit, vomit. At what kind of range? At a fair old range. Okay, so that's not good. This is a hopper hound. It can jump. It can do an air leap or a combat jump. So it's got a range, but it'll bring it into melee. It doesn't just attack you from afar. It has to get into a fight, but it does a decent amount of damage when it does that. It's a hopper hound Blademore, whereas this is just a hopper hound Manhunter. It's a weaker version. As we can see, stats are very different. The Blademore does a lot more damage in straight up combat, whereas the Manhunter reduced damage. Okay, so fair enough. We've got two of them here. Now, they can spit and they can fight. And this little area around them, the shield with the blade on it is showing that it's in melee Overwatch. Any creature capable of melee will enter melee Overwatch at the end of its turn if it hasn't done something to negate that. And in melee Overwatch, if anything moves within that area, it'll be attacked. Makes sense. We've got ranged units though, so let's start with those. Amazon Huntress. In your current area, are you hidden in any capacity? I don't think you are. Now, we've got a number of pips of movement, or rather action points. 3 action points. Movement within this green area doesn't use any of that action point, so you can kind of creep forward every turn. Movement within this area uses 1. Movement within the dark blue uses another. Movement within the red uses all remaining action points, and there's nothing I can do beyond that point. Our abilities use up certain amounts of action points. Any ability, no matter how much it uses, unless it specifically says it doesn't do this, will end your turn. So if I use my flash arrow, it only uses a single action point, but if I did it now, that's that turn over. The one here, the bio arrows with repeating, shows that it'll use 1 action point, and it can use up to 3 additional action points if they're available to keep shooting. So that one will be very good to use if I don't move around too much. Now, realistically speaking, our enemy are going to attack us. Chance to get hit is halved when attacking through cover. I think I'm going to move you over here. And then we're going to have... Well, you don't have Overwatch, which is a bit of a pain. We're going to have to keep that in mind. Our ranged infantry do not have Overwatch. Super big pain, that one. Alright, let's move you up as well. Just get you into a position where you can attack from. You'll have 1... turn there. We'll use defense since we can't do anything else. Unit ends its turn and goes into a defensive mode. It becomes 25% harder to hit and cannot be flanked. That's really important. Being staggered would also be kind of rubbish for us, but I don't think they're going to be able to get in here and stagger us right now. Stagger basically brings you out of Overwatch or any other positive modes you might have active. Let's get over here behind this cover as well, and we will also go into defense there as well. Now our flyer. Let's have a look. If we select the laser repeater, it's also already showing us the range of that. If we select this as our ability, it doesn't use it, but we would have to select who to attack, and it's probably right next to us, wherever that is. Defensive motivation. This unit ends its turn and goes into a defensive mode. It becomes 50% harder to hit and cannot be flanked. I'm tempted to let you do that, honestly. Let's get you into a better position. Can't do it over here, I don't think, so let's just pop you. Now you can fly above items. I can have you over this. Nothing can move into that tile, but you're a flyer, so it doesn't matter. Go ahead. I want you to get down here as quickly as you can. Move into the underbrush so you're not separate from the rest of the force. The hoppers shouldn't be able to attack you, I don't think. I might be wrong about that though. Oh, it looks like you can still... Oh, no, you can't go into evasion. That's a shame. I was hoping that you'd still be able to do that, but... Alright, then. Let's pan out the map a little bit. We're going to have to let them get in quite close before we can realistically do anything to them. Which is a bit of a potch, but okay. I'm going to try and prevent them from getting too clustered together. For fear of splash damage. How far out can I shoot that? That's not too bad. Let's go into defensive mode for now. And finally, where do I want to pop you? Now sleep, I wouldn't mind. It does look like a very nice ability, but I don't want you to get too close to the enemy right now. I may have you move around We'll use a lot of your turns and then you can go into a defensive posture. Now, thankfully, they are also mostly melee. They do have some ranged abilities and they can project their melee force over a large range. But we should be fine for this initial turn. There's not much we can do about it. Right, let's see. Is this going to be AoE? Missed. Brilliant, okay. So that worked to our advantage. Who are you going for? Okay, you came in there, air leap on our commander, and took a lot of damage for your efforts. And we got grazed. There are lots of different types of effect you can have in terms of hits. If you miss, you can still hit someone else nearby. You can miss the intended target and shoot someone stood next to them. Or you can just completely miss. Or occasionally you'll graze and you won't do the full damage you were hoping to do. Right, okay, well, let's use you first. Can we get in anywhere close by? No, but if we move up a bit, we might be able to. Let's see. Can we see? Ah, just out of range. Alright, well, let's move in and see. Can we get a shot in there? No line of sight. Can we get a regular attack in there? No. Target location movement blocked. That's fine. We'll just go into defensive mode there then. As for you, let's see. We've got a couple of hits now. Out of range. You're not, though. We've got a 50% chance of hitting. Well, that's fine for me. Let's go for that. And we'll use a lot of movement points to do this. There we go. Very nice. Very nice indeed. How about you? Can you hit them? They're out of range still. I need to creep forward a bit. But I'm willing to do that. Go for them. You will probably hit. As you can see, it's showing me 2 separate attacks. It will show as many attacks as you got the action points to commit to. There we go. Perfect. Alright, now, you could get over there. You haven't got a particularly good chance of hitting, only 30%. Alternatively, I could move in and go for 1 impact. Which might not be a terrible idea. You've got a pretty rough chance of hitting here as well, though, unfortunately. Now, if I move away, we're probably going to get attacked. Which would be a bit of a potch. How about you take a shot? You've got a 90% chance, and you're flanking as well. So you're probably going to do a lot of damage here. There we go. Increased damage from the flank. Perfect. Okay, you're free to move at this point then. Let's move you out. See if you've got a better shot. 38%. 30%. It's the range, I think. Yeah, it's mostly range. We could move right up into a bit of a better position. Sure, let's do that. There we go. From there we've got a 90%. Sure, let's go for it. There we are. Now then, how would I like you to engage? I could get in there. The Overwatch will trigger on a miss or a graze. I'm tempted. Let's go. Let's get in there and attack. I think that was a crit. Yes, it was. How marvelous. Okay, I approve. Alright, as for us, we can start approaching again. We'll just actually move around since we killed everything on this side, unfortunately for us. Scan catalog. Reveal detailed information about the weakness of the target unit. All units of this type become scanned until the end of combat, giving them a -2 resistance to all damage types. Wow. That would be amazing had I realized you had it. I should have paid better attention to your abilities, shouldn't I? Yes. Okay, how are you going to attack? Going for a melee attack. And you actually hit. We were flanked at the time. The direction you're facing really does matter. Because we were facing away, we were flanked. Even though, you know, they had to walk right up to us. There we go. Perfect.
Our forces are victorious.
You can turn around, but it does cost a move.
Combat encounter. Gain experience based on the number of enemies that were defeated during that combat. A unit that has earned sufficient experience levels up and can gain various bonuses.
Each unit in the battle earns experience equal to the total combat experience divided by the number of friendly units that enter the battle. So going in with fewer units, fewer stronger units will get them levels a bit faster. I don't think anything actually leveled up from that, but that's fine. Gained 1 colonist. Marvelous. I accept. Oh, we liberated them from this area, so that's actually pretty cool. Now, let me quickly go in here, and under options, I should be able to change the audio a little bit. Let's drop down music a fair old chunk, shall we? I think so, yes. There we go. Not what I wanted to do. Right, okay, so we, at this point, should have built our central building. And in fact, if we have a look at it, we should be able to see that, yes, there we are. We're producing 60 production now, which is actually quite nice. But before we start on that, I would very much like to go back to this. No, we still can't do it. Oh no, we haven't actually increased our resource. There I am saying it. We're going to actually have to have you wait a turn. We haven't passed the first turn yet. We just had a fight. Because we had the population point, I thought that we moved a turn. It can annex its first sector. The sludge lands. I mean... okay. Should send an army to an adjacent sector. I'm not sure we want the sludge lands, though. Let's have a look at the sludge lands. Arcadian, to boost output through research, or fertile plains. Okay, so it would be a decent one for food. The Arcadian climate is an unspoiled, harmonious wilderness, predominantly consisting of grasslands. I mean, we could. Or we can make another colony. We're not going to do that. There's no point in that one right now. But we'll end the turn. And then on the next turn, we should finish building. Okay. Let's have a quick look in here. If we now go over here, we should see... still the same. I'm not sure how to see the difference there then. Perhaps I was just getting that wrong. Specialist Training Center, we'd be able to make biomancers. Or military skirmisher barracks. We could make the Amazon Lancers. I think that would be generally quite good to be able to get a skirmisher unit. Skirmishers are more focused on dealing damage than anything else. Where specialists are, as you can imagine, they're there more for generally supporting your army. But I think we're going to go for skirmishers. Let's start producing that as quickly as we can. Orders required. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's go to research. Now, you research two things simultaneously, military and society. You research them in parallel, and your research points are distributed between them. Now, over here we've got just Amazons as our race. That drop-down makes me think that maybe you'd have different races and get different racial research. But the military is split into your race, your damage groups, and your your secrets technology. So, we could go for protective grounding. Grounding harness, protective growth. That is recommended. It would give us the grounding harness. By grounding itself, this unit gains stagger resistance and 5 arc resistance. Additionally, this mod grants the units 1 extra shielding. Might be good. The protective growth. Summon thick roots to protect a friendly ground unit, healing it for 10 and preventing it from moving for 2 turns. While immobilized in this manner, the unit gains +4 armor and regenerates 25% of its maximum hit points per turn. Wow. That is an operation. It's a tactical operation. So we'd be able to call that down to perhaps protect a very important unit. Biochemical applications, we would gain viscous composite. Attacks have a chance to apply slow for 3 turns. Additionally, this mod grants the unit 10% increased damage on all abilities. Biochemical maceration. A macerating biochemical agent is released in 1 text radius, reducing affected units' biochemical resistance by 3 for 3 turns. So these units also have an 8 strength chance of becoming slow for that duration. That's not bad. We could look at heavy laser applications. We would get the incinerator module, which would allow laser weapons a chance to burn. Oh, quite cool. So give the burns, just much like poison, give a status effect, or call in a laser strike at the target that deals 25 damage with massive impact. That's an operation. Finally, we've got the Xenoplague, the Alpha Strain Inception. We would get the Xenoplague Parasite. The unit gains hyper-evolved immune system, granting it +2 resistance to all non-psionic status effects and ferocious determination, making the unit immune to negative morale and mind control. Additionally, this mod grants the unit 5 extra health. So we would literally give our unit the Xenoplague Parasite. but, it would generally be working towards the idea of making it better. We'd also get an operation, the Parasitic Strike. Target biological cyborg unit to take 10 biological damage with an 8 strength chance to contract a parasitic infection. The effect jumps up to 2 times to a nearby target within 2 hexes. I mean, it might be nice, but... I think we will go with Protective Grounding, because that particular ability may save us quite a lot of units. So we're going to go with that one as our main research. There we go. So that's our military unit research. Now for our society. You've got Doctrine, Economy, and Operations. Doctrine would give us a verdant awakening. That would give us ecological construction. Intelligent use of wood and local materials allows for green, cost-effective infrastructure development without having to harm or exploit nature. Your colonies each gain plus 10 production for every forest sector within its domain. Okay. Progressive cultivation. We can we can invest in genetically modified crops that exploit fertile land to the fullest, making our harvest more bountiful. We get plus 2 food per colonist in a food slot for every Arcadian sector connected to our colonies. We've got 2. We could, in economy, go for aquatic development, water base, sea transport, and river crossing expertise. Units has been trained in crossing rivers and does so at greatly reduced move cost. Okay. And economy, frontier facilities would give us a recreational dome. The colony gains 2 happiness slots and plus 4 happiness income. That might be quite nice to get those happiness events early. Standard military infrastructure upgrades the militia army to include more powerful units. And the colonizer. Now that one is probably important to get early on. Finally, we've got area surveillance. This is a strategic operation. Monitoring station appears on the target hex. The station provides the casting player with vision for 6 hexes and sensor coverage for 12 hexes. Okay. The station is concealed and can only be detected by other players with detection, or if they move adjacent to it. Native Threat Locator reveals the location of the nearest unexplored hostile spawner to the target colony. That's a player operation. And capability ranking. Empire upgrade. Unlocks capability ranking, showing the Empire's task interface capabilities visible to your Empire and its allies. So we get an idea of how well we're doing overall. But for now, I don't think we need to worry about it. Right. Well, we could move into the swampland and have a quick perusal of what's involved. I mean, getting an Arcadian sector hooked up might not be bad. Or we could have the Doomwood. What a name. The photosynthetic Glen. Barrier Peaks. There's quite a few little areas connected up here. Let's have a think. Do we want to grab this? Sure, let's grab it. The fertile plains and the Arcadian will be useful things for us to upgrade. Right, as for you, our army power is a little bit lower right now, but I think that's generally okay. We should be able to win a straight fight over here without too much trouble, as long as we play sensibly. Right, we can move in for the remainder, I think. Do you have an extra move? No, we've used up all our move points, so we'll just go ahead and wait 1 turn. As for you, you just chill out there for now. And end turn. Don't turn off your system while saving. You really need to warn us about that at this point. Fernandel has an unexploited sector. Okay, so we have annexed this sector, and now we need to exploit it. So if we have a look over here. Sludge lands. Fertile plains. Because of this, we can go for energy. The fertile plains have bio and science, and Arcadian has agriculture and energy. I don't think we should really build that. It doesn't build on anything for us. Do we want to go for research though? That might be interesting. This research exploitation, it provides various economic bonuses based on its level. We could do. Now the best areas are ones that have a terrain and a feature, or a climate and terrain that agrees. So in this case, both Arcadian and fertile plains benefit from agricultural exploitation. So with that in mind, we could potentially get this up to the maximum level. I don't think that's possible if they don't agree. So if I went for this or that, we'd never quite be able to get fully leveled up agriculture. But I think we're going to go for this. An extra food slot and some extra food income would help us grow a little bit faster, and that's probably useful for us early on rather than anything else. Right, create a sector base.
Annexed.
Nope, that's fine, we've annexed it. Produce central replicator
Production
factory.
ready.
Marvelous, and that has gone up now. So if finally we have a look at this, there you go. It's finally there. I wasn't lying after all. Okay, so with that in mind, we're already working on this. We're going to wait on that one so that we can actually start making some more lances, I think, and then we're going to start tweaking our army around a little bit. As for you, we could explore out a little bit, perhaps? Sure. Let's see, we've got some items.
Pickups are one-time collectibles that provide resources or other rewards. They are instant bonuses that are given to the player who first collects them by moving a unit on top of them.
Once a pickup is collected, it is removed from the world. Better pickups are often defended by armies that need to be defeated before the pickup can be collected. Imperial Production Stash. When collected, production is added to your nearest colony. Production speeds up the queue. Okay, that's cool. Let's go for that one then. Yoink. A lone Paragon unit, Fanatic, is found slumped and weakened next to the stash. He tells you the Union left him to rot, and that he would gladly join you if you give him the implants he believes are inside the stash. I don't know what a Fanatic is, so let's bring that up. Fanatic. You call us fanatics, but the techno-prophets ordained us. We are believers. We preach Paragon immortality. We hope for eternal life and wait for the return of the one true core. Long ago, our prophets offered immortality to all the world, but in the end, the unworthy embraced madness and killed themselves. Our purpose sees beyond oblivion's decay. We overcharge the imperial soul, unlocking potential in others who embrace Paragon technology. Receive each covenant body mod leading to everlasting life. You too can join our immortal communion. The Paragon is a very interesting one to go for. This is a faction. I'm okay with this. Yes, I think we're going to go with this one. You're a cyborg, infantry, land movement, light unit, specialist. Targeting jammers unit. This unit is 25% harder to hit with attacks. Combat experience, that's because of our thing. Active phase augment. You can move through... you can teleport. Overdrive, hack into target Paragon unit with Imperial augments, causing them to overcharge, granting them new abilities, increased damage, and charging their kinetic attacks to arc. And Paragon Blaster. I think we will go for this unit, yes. Wait. Did I... What? Do I not have that? Oh, phew. Okay, you may join us. Where did you go? Because we're over the sea. Where do you go? Curiouser. And indeed curiouser. Did I just lose that unit? Because I would be a little bit vexed. Oh no, there we are. Whew. Thank goodness. Really? Do you need to make that sound? Was that necessary, strictly speaking? Your power is actually quite high. I think... Invisible to other players due to the forest. I'm going to split this army. You're going to move. I'm going to move you back over to Falindel. You can chill out there and protect it. That's fine. You are going to move into this army. There we go. Perfect. Right. Well, this army is now slow because of that. I might actually split you off, in fact. Have you head out over there. Maybe I should have done that before. Sure. We're going to split the army a little bit more. I'll pull you back. I should have done that first. Oh. Run away is my first and primary thought in that scenario. I should have really noticed that big old danger icon above you, but fair enough. Doesn't look like there's anything out in that direction, so we'll probably have our flyers meet up and continue to scout around together as a group. You can head back on the next turn. There we go. Sure, we're going to have our flyers just generally make their way in this direction, but with both of them together. Just to keep them a little bit safer. There we are. And you can hopefully make your way down. It means that our army's going to have to sit there again for a little bit, but that's fine. Yeah, they will have to sit tight for now. It just gives us a few extra turns to get closer to what we need. There we go. Orders required. Let's have a look around. There is something down here. Or something else with a big old fight on it. Beach point. Ooh. Who is that? Army. It's an actual faction there. Whereas this is Domain, Marauder Faction War, Army, Marauder War. So yeah, this is the full-on faction of the Marauders. Okay, well we'll scout around instead then. That's fine by me. Right, let's get in here, have another fight. And at that point, we'll probably be wrapping up this episode. So 845 versus 440. I think we should be able to manage it. And if we can't, you can laugh at me in the comments down below. Or on stream, if you manage to catch up to me tonight. Right then, the defender will always get the first move, and any kind of tactical abilities do not come into play until the first turn. Until the first turn after the second turn. I guess you could say it like that, if you want to be particular about it. Damn it. Right, let's wander up. Now they are melee units, so we go over here, we'll have some protection, but we can take a shot. Only at 5% though, which is pretty much useless to us. Sure, we might shoot past it. No, we missed completely. Alright, fair enough. Now, with this weapon, let's see how close we need to get before we can shoot something. Pretty bloody close, unfortunately. Still worth moving in. About 10% there. No, actually we're going to go into defensive mode here. You're going to move up. Now that is full cover. We can't even see through that. Still, can we? No, we can't scan yet. And I don't want to move out of this in order to get into a position so I can scan. Let's move forward and just see where our range can get us. And if we scooch up, we can take a shot. It's a 50% though, so that's not too bad. No, it was great. Not awesomely bad. Now they are probably going to come out to us, so I'm just going to chill out here, move some of our units into a position where they can shoot from as they approach. But again, no Overwatch here, unfortunately. I think the Vanguard, most of their units have Overwatch. Okay, that's kind of nasty. We got staggered twice, so we've lost 2 move points already. That is a bit of a problem. Okay, they're probably also going to get an attack on you. Hope you dodge. Nope. You actually got really badly hurt there. Okay. Can you possibly use your mending? Yes. Please do. Go for it. Oh, it's right click to use an ability. So let's manipulate mend. Oh yeah, that was your first full turn. Unfortunately, we were within melee range and we used an ability. I did forget about that. Oh, that was silly. Oh well. We can't. Well, we could hack into it, but it's not much point for us to do. Now we could flank you with this and do an enormous amount of damage. We would not get a flank there though. So let's go for the flanking attack. Nice. Very nice indeed. I'm not going to have you attack just yet. We could go for bio arrows here. Is this better? 90. It is slightly better, I believe. 9 bio damage. Flash arrows. No, this is more of a strategic weapon. It's not.
Enemy eliminated.
Doesn't do straight damage, unfortunately, for us. Okay, next up, I would really like it if you could soften them up first for us. You could, of course, go for them, but no, let's focus on you for now. And again, please, thank you. Weakened them significantly. You've still got your full attack. We could use that attack there. Go for that. Nah, let's take you out of this equation. You're a little bit more of a threat to me, I feel.
Enemy destroyed.
There we go. Now then, to get round there is going to be a potch. I do believe that they have used up their spit. No, they can still use it. That's very annoying. Alright. I can use my blaster. I'm not going to do much damage with that, though. Alright, I want to get around, so I'm going to have to just do a charge. We'll be somewhat protected in this position because we're in partial cover. But that's all we can do. You coming up to fight? You are. That one will probably split, though. Ouch. You got some pretty solid blows there. Their spit attack can't activate multiple times in a round. Oof. That was nasty. You can't use this, you've already used it. However, we could scan. Let's go for that. Yep. Now then. It's a free action. We could teleport over there and get in a good sight, but we'd be putting ourselves into a bit of a rough position. Let's wait on that one, actually. Can I get a shot there? No. Okay, let's try and take you out of the equation for now. It's good, some decent damage there. You could probably finish him off. But we're going to try and do that from here instead. Can you get a shot in? Reasonable shot, but it would be better if we just scooched forward first. There we go. Let's finish them off if we can, please. Well done. Very well done, in fact. Now with that, we should be able to just teleport over there. That was a free action, so we can continue on. We'll get a massive bit of damage here with the flank. Assuming that we can actually hit all of them, but we should. There we go. Now, what I would love to do is heal fully, but that is not going to happen. On a miss, they're going to get an Overwatch. That could kill us. So, please pardon me for doing this. Hopefully we can get this shot in and take you out. Still out of range. If we scooch over one more space, we can sort of do it. Okay, let's try. 75% chance. There we go. That did actually hurt still. Damn it!
Victory.
And your explosive bodies. Okay, well, we lost no one, but wow, Casa got a bit chewed up in that fight. Production resources moved to Valintel. What should be built with them? Sure, Specialist Training Center. I'm 100% okay with this. Okay, that was not too bad. Let's have a look at you. You are Acadian Climate, alright, and you're Forest. Wouldn't be bad to annex it, but do we have enough room for that? No, we are not yet at the point where we can have more sectors. We can have another one at... We've got 5 colonists currently. We can have another one in 3 colonists' turn. So that's the benefit there to letting your colony grow as fast as it can. But I think that's going to be it for this first taste episode. As a reminder, we will be streaming this tonight in about 4 hours from the time this video goes live, or 8 PM BST, that's British Summer Time. If you would like to join me over on Twitch, then by all means, these will then be going up as VODs over the coming days. I really do hope you've enjoyed this video and will be joining me at the stream or watching the VODs. But until then, and as always, do take care, everyone.